to my Macros 101 video series. In today's video, we are going to be discussing tracking and tracking accuracy. So the way I see it, there are three basic methods for tracking your food, okay? Method number one is to take a look at the back of a food container and just guesstimate how much of that food you are eating. So for example, let's say you grab a handful of pretzels, you eat them, you're like, oh, I need to track that. You grab the pretzel bag, you scan it into your tracking app, and you're guesstimating, I probably ate about a serving. Well, we don't really know because you didn't actually track that, you didn't measure that out, so you're guessing that it was about a serving. Better than no tracking at all, but not a very accurate way to track. Okay, method number two would be to use like measuring cups, measuring spoons, things like that. So, okay, that's a step up from the guesstimation point, but still not the most accurate. If you were to take, I'll use the peanut butter example, if you were to take a tablespoon, like, you know, little measuring tool, and scoop out some peanut butter, you might say that's about a tablespoon. However, if you were to then take that tablespoon of peanut butter and weigh that, you would notice that the amount that it can fluctuate can be pretty drastic, especially for something as high in calories as peanut butter. A little bit goes a long way, and if you aren't tracking things accurately, if you are using measuring cups and spoons, those can be highly, highly off, which means over time, you might be eating more or less calories than you're supposed to be. While it is not a terrible way to track your food, and it's certainly better than not tracking at all or just guesstimating, it's not the best method to do so. Okay, that brings us to the best method for weighing and tracking your food, the most accurate, and that would be using a food scale. Now, I know that can feel a little bit intimidating and like a little obsessive, but hear me out. A food scale is really, really easy to use once you get the hang of it. They are very affordable. You can grab one off Amazon for 10 bucks. And what I recommend is that you at least give it some time with the food scale. If you are newer to tracking, it will be very, very eye-opening for you to start weighing your food and truly understanding what a serving size is. Because if you have never done this before, you're going to become very aware of the different serving sizes of the foods that you're eating. And you'll see that your guesstimations are probably wildly off. And that's not to pick on you or your ability, that happens to all of us. So get a food scale, start weighing and measuring your food. It is the most accurate way to do it. Do you have to use a food scale and weigh your food forever? Absolutely not. I haven't got my food scale out in probably a couple years now because I've already done that work. I've gotten to know basic serving sizes, and now I can kind of proceed with more accuracy. My guesstimations are far more accurate since I've taken the time to actually weigh and measure and track things versus had I not taken that time. So my best advice for tracking accurately, especially when we have goals, specifically weight loss goals, grab a food scale, start weighing your food and tracking accurately. In some subsequent videos, I will talk about how to use your food scale to weigh foods, and I will give some tips and tricks for how to make using your food scale really, really simple.